Hello and welcome. It's Greg and I, isn't it?
It is, for sure.
Our first antenna project. If you look carefully, and I don't think you can quite see it from here, there's a bend in the antenna. And I think we guide it one section too high and I think a little stiff. So we have a replacement piece of aluminum. We're going to tilt it over here and repair it. And that's our job today. It is 71 degrees. It's absolutely beautiful, and you get to see my hands. And all is good. So let's get to it. Here's our tire track, but more importantly, this is a radial from one of the radials that connect to the base of the antenna. It's a critical part in a vertical antenna. It sits right on top and it's stapled down. This is a DX Engineering Thunderbolt 8040 antenna with a 30-meter kit. That's that outrigger there. All right, do me a favor, Greg. Get that poop off the winch location. There we go. Okay, so here's our winch. The winch will go in the keyholes and then slide forward. And then we tighten it up, and Greg will hook that on right there. It's where we're going to ultimately do this. Don't tighten it up yet, just leave it loose. And then down below here, we have tightened those bolts down there, hold the winch on. I will tell you, the CyberTruck out here in the field is awesome. It carries all of our junk, including our tools and the frunk. Hey, that rhymes. DX Engineering stuff's generally really awesome. But look what happened here. Yeah, and I think it was our fault. We guided it once too high. That guy ring should have been here. So we've got a new guy ring. We're going to replace this piece and then put a new guy ring right here. So I think we're good to go. We're going to get that done. CyberTruck on the job, working on antennas. Greg and I put the new piece in, and it's the exact fit. And we moved the guy ring down to here, to where it should have been. And we put a safety bolt. You can see it there. You can see the safety bolt, because hose clamps suck, literally. All right, I'm going to touch up the D on it, and we're going to put it up. Yeah, look at that. See, we need to let the antenna move more and allow the energy to be absorbed in the antenna rather than the guide wires themselves. Okay, we've temporarily attached the upwind guys. Allows the antenna to flex. And you can see the top is taking up whatever it needs. And I think that's not bad. Let's do the backstay. And just like that, version 12.5.5 FSD. Where? In the CyberTruck. All right, this is northwest. You watch them flags. And right down to this one. All right, I think that's closest as we can get. It's not really directional that much, but you can see all the flags waving in the breeze. This is about midway. Looking down, we line right up on that. We can see them all out in the distance, flapping. And here's Greg. That's his hole. And I poured the concrete in, and we're good to go. This is where the BevFlex is going to mount. And then it goes way out there, about 700 feet. And it goes another 150 that way. So it should be good. The Beast is out in the field doing antenna work. And a fine job at that. So this is Greg. He's on the tailgate. And I'm driving over for the stuff I put in the ground here. You can't quite see it. We're driving over, and he's plugging the PVC pipe on the rebar we just pounded in. As you can see, it's pretty straight. Okay, and I'm driving. He's on the tailgate, and I'm trying to get as close as I can to the rebar we put in the ground. And I'm on high, but the sagebrush is pretty nasty. All right, here goes. Yeah, we have gigantic burrows out here, and you can probably see one there. Anyway, I wish you had smell-o-vision, because we're driving over sagebrush, and if you ever found sagebrush and rolled it up and smell it, it smells great. If you like sage, of course. You know, we've been doing things like this, and let me just show you down the line here. That's 544 feet. And if I move to the side, you can see those dang things go on forever. Spaced at 20 feet apart. Yeah, some of them are a little crooked because when I pounded the rebar in, it was just a little off center, but there you go. All right, another job for the CyberBeast. We laid a 1-inch piece of water pipe on top, and we just pulled the pull rope through it. Now we're going to pull 2 RG6s from the feed point of the beverage back to this box here. We're going to leave it on top of the ground to see if this thing works. And if it does, we'll come back and put all this in the ground. Look what Greg did. We are running the conduit on the top of the ground for now. Everything is configured and connected. There's the end of the 750 feet just over the top of the existing Northeast beverage. That may change. And then when we look this way, 750 feet, this points northwest, southeast, and this is what it looks like. It's from a company called BevFlex. You got the feed line, and you got the antenna, and you can install this feed point anywhere along the 750 feet. You can make it any size you wish. At each end is a termination going down to a ground rod, and it is a bidirectional beverage. So we're going to hook up the feed line here, and you never know. If we did all this crap right, it might even work. Hey, we don't need our dogs. Check it out. Little feller, we drove up to the house. Pretty fox, huh? Let me get a little closer. That's it. You just sniffing around for something to eat, I guess. We're terminating the BevFlex now into the main box, and got to drill a hole in the bottom. I wish I had my hole punches, but I don't. So there you go. We'll get it done. It's hooked up. Appears to be working. We're going to leave it this way for a couple days till I get back, and we'll finish it up. Here's the interface box I built. It allows the 4 legacy beverages to function, plus the BevFlex, and be able to change direction, and all that works. And it's all wired up. I think we're good. So we'll leave it in here for a couple days, and while I'm in California, and then we'll doll it up. It is beverage number 2 day. Greg and I have planned to install another 950-foot BevFlex beverage. It'll be spaced at about 5 feet off the ground. It's going right along the Northeast beverage, single wire beverage that we have. We have all of our goodies. We have our rebar here that allows us to slide the PVC pipe, which is 5 feet on it. We have Dacron for the end. We have our measuring tool. Since our wheelie is broken, the pins on the mechanism to rotate the counter sheared off. So we're back to using a kind of a semi-known length of pull rope we did a couple days ago. We have this number 8 wire. It'll be the ground. We have a ground rod. You can kind of see it right there, 4 feet. We have a T-post driver, and we have a T-post for the end. We have a post hole digger for the hole for the ground rod. We have a sundry measuring tool we use. Get out of the way. It's 20 feet. This part right here in my shadow, that's 20 foot, and that's what we'll use for spacing. And then under the drills are some red flags. So I think we're good to go. We're in the CyberBeast heading to the field. Are you ready there, Brother Greg?
Yeah, all ready. Do it again.
Again and again. Yeah, that's it. All right, let's do it. We're right out here near the end of the Northeast beverage, and there is a gigantic ant hill with reasonably sized ants. And I guess they're going in the top there. Looks like a animal ran through it or something. But it's kind of unique. It's all large gravel. We're going along the same line as the existing Northeast beverage. Way out there where the CyberTruck is the end. Puts us 690 feet or something to our center. From there we'll do another couple hundred to make it about 950 feet long. This is the northeast end of the beverage. This is what Greg and I figured out. Use a 4-foot ground rod in the ground. Put some Epsom salts. We take this block of wood and hose clamp it to the T-post. Use the grinder and grind these ends out. Makes a real nice mount for the termination. Now we're going to take a break, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
It's a long ways out here, let me tell you.
Well, you dry out too. You need water.
Yeah, that's it. We put in almost 500 feet of support rebar here. And you can't quite see it, but wait, not that one now. Way out there. Yeah, there it is right there. That's the end of the beverage. Anyway, so we've got, I don't know, nearly 500 more feet to do, but at least I think it's going to be flatter. So we're putting the PVC on the rebar. Greg's sitting on the tailgate, and he's plugging it on. And I'm driving real close to it, trying not to run him over. This is the southeast end of the beverage. We have strain relief, got a hay knot, trucker's knot, and then the connection is here, as you can see right up there. It's taped up. We're connected over on the proper side, going down to a ground rod. Ground rod has Epsom salts in it, and we're good. And here's my buddy Greg. He just finished putting all the T sections on top of the beverage. It's 750 feet long. I'm just going to pick them up here. This is the short end of the BevFlex, and we've put the Epsom salts over the ground rod. I've sealed up the connection and taped up the end here, so we're good. You know, the CyberBeast has held up well driving around out here. It's not that tough. There's a lot of rocks and crap you got to drive over as we continue to do all of our antenna stuff. We're just putting the termination on the end beverage. You can see Greg over there, and we're getting close. This will terminate the southwest northeast beverage, and then we'll hook up the center once I get the box done. This is the ground rod Greg's prepping. There's the clamp. You can take that off and put it somewhere. That's a good idea. We're putting Epsom salts around the ground rod since it's as dry as fish turds here. And we put a little water on it to help promote the ground action. This is the northeast end of the beverage. And if we look this way, you can kind of see right down the line of the beverage. See that? So that goes probably 950 feet. This is the end of the beverage, and I'm walking it to the end. Should be about 950 feet. We space the rebar about every 20 feet. We'll come back, put T connectors, regular 1/2-inch PVC T's on the top, and we're good. You can see Greg back there tending the reel. (7,180 feet here, high desert. Going by the remote antenna here for my buddy Rick, and this was our existing beverage. It'll eventually come down. This is the end of the first side. It's probably 900 feet, 850. This is the old beverage location. The beverage that way is northwest. This one is north. This one is southwest. We'll take that down. And this is the old northeast. This is where we're going to mount the box on this post. You can see Greg out there. If I stand in line here, you can see the beverage. There's the new actual antenna wire. You can see the end of it out there, and Greg's sitting there. Not bad for a line of sight. We are out here with CyberTruck. It makes an awesome utility vehicle. This is the end of a beverage antenna. Yeah, look it up. It's a receive-only antenna, and the CyberTruck does a good job. Greg is holding down the fort. I just pulled out 900 feet of cable. We'll hook that up, but you close up the vault and drive all over in the dirt here and nothing gets messed up. I've installed the T's from this section. It's a PVC T stuck on the top of this 1/2-inch PVC water pipe. Schedule 40, of course. All right, so now we'll pull this tight, and that's the northeast side of this beverage. All right, we got to put some more T's on the other side. This is the northeast side. This is the northeast side of the beverage, as you can see. It's pretty straight. We'll pull the cable tight from the other side. Here's what Greg and I did. We have strain relief. The Dacron goes out, loops back, and we taped it. So it's a friction strain relief here. Let's see if I can get a picture of it. Come on. My phone's not happy. Anyway, and then we came along, did the hay knot that goes around here, provides our connection down to the termination. Tape that up, get that in focus. There you go. So we tape the connector up with good quality tape, and then down to the ground rod. Come on, phone. There you go. So a ground rod with Epsom salts, poured some water around it, and as you can see, it's pretty dry here. Hopefully that'll work well. And then the termination for the beverage is this port. We'll crank that down. Darn, sorry. All right, and the termination for this port to the ground is right here. So I think we're good. We're done with this end. We'll pull it tight and work on the other end. Here it is, the southwest side of the BevFlex beverage. I think at this point we got to go finish the box, and then we can try it out. That's the center feed point box. You know, the CyberBeast has held up well driving around out here. It's not that tough. There's a lot of rocks and crap they got to drive over as we continue to do all of our antenna stuff. This is the West beverage. I strung it originally with electric fence, rope, or whatever you call it, twine. And we're now replacing it with some number 16 machine wire, just because this is the last project. We leave in 2 days.
Shouldn't sag too much, I guess.
Now we're going to, Greg and I are sitting here figuring out, we've got this giant draw, or gully as it's called by normal folks. And we're going to jump from up here all the way like a big high wire span across to about halfway up the hill here, and then up over the hill where the beverage goes. So that's our plan, I guess. We only have 10 supports. We're down to it. We're now heading over to the west side of this beverage. You can kind of see we're down in this ravine here in the backyard. And we're on high suspension, so it's not a problem. But the back of the truck is full of junk here, so we need to drag it down the hill. All right, here we are. So we're gonna drive here. As you can see, be quiet already. The end of the beverage is there, and then it goes up the hill that way. So anyway, we're here. We'll be, let's get her done. Way over there is the end of this beverage, and it comes down the hill here. And there she is, and goes down even further to that T-post. So that's the end of it. We have 7 stakes to put in, just because that's all we have. So we're gonna figure out what's up. We mounted the supports, but we've run out of time. We've got to go to lunch, pick up my wife. So I'm just gonna back up. Yep, we're backing up the hill. As you can see, the truck doesn't care where we go. The sensors whine and cry a little bit, but it's okay. There we go. Now we gotta go pick up Greg. I'm gonna see if he doesn't fall down. We're good. It's hard to walk here. So what I'm gonna do, see the spike in one of my supports here. It's a piece of 1/2-inch PVC. We've painted it to make it aesthetically pleasing. I wish you guys had smell-o-vision, because part of the smell here is running over all this sage. So we're just going to drive along the antenna line here. And since I can do that, I'll just reach out of the window and plug it on that piece of rebar there. Uh-oh. They put it in park. All right, let's go on to the next one. As you can see, it's pretty rugged here. Oh, be quiet. You can just scrape on all the sage.
Okay, let's go carefully.
All right.
Give me the back end.
There you hold it. All right. Out the window it goes. Right onto the rebar. We're going to be taking down this existing beverage. All right, there we go. The goes across the ravine there, and we're going to support all the way from there to this one. We got to put a couple backstays. Okay, we're done for now, and we're off to get something to eat. So let's just back up just a little, so I don't have to. You can hear the sage scratching everything. Oh yeah, okay. All right, and now we're gonna go up the hill, and we'll go this way. Sure, we're not hooked on anything. Nope. Well, there you go. CyberTruck for the win. We are back at it. We had lunch. It was my wife's birthday today, and had lunch downtown. Now we're headed back down to get our work done. Yeah, this is the ravine, and you can see the CyberTrucks here. There's the hill. I could drive down there and turn around, but don't need to. We just get our stuff and get it working. You know, the CyberTruck's just like any other truck. You just throw your junk in the back. The only difference is you can use the vault to lock it off. I'm sure most of you folks are not necessarily radio savvy. Being an amateur radio operator, we have all kinds of different kinds of antennas. This particular one is called a beverage, kind of like what you drink, made by a guy named Harold Beveridge in 1920. And it's a receive antenna, and it's called a wave antenna. The nuts and bolts of it are, the electromagnetic wave comes in from a given direction, and it pushes electrons right into your receiver, gets turned to voltage, and that's what the receiver uses. The old one was this horse stuff. It's got 3 strands of metal. The new one will be this real wire. It's a plastic coated wire. Down here at the base is a termination. This is a ground rod, you can see. And this is the termination. It's a 470 ohm resistor. And we'll go ahead and pull this. And Greg will pull it up from the top, and I'll connect this up. So let me get to that. The actual beverage wire is now changed out. I've hooked it to the termination, pulled in the hay-nail a little bit, taped it up, and this is the end of the beverage towards the DX station we're listening to. It's tiring work here. Greg's taking a break. We've got the new stanchions up, and I think we're about ready to go and terminate it. You can see the angle we're on. The bottom of the gulch is there, and it's not bad. This is a little odd installation. I made a backstay, and we completely crossed this ravine up to the other side where Greg is, and that allows us to ford this real low area here. Let any animals go under there. There you have it. This is what we call a wrap. Just kidding. It's the end of the beverage. They all terminate right here on this 4x4. The new beverage is 950 feet. Yeah, it's a bidirectional beverage, and it goes way down there. Anyway, this one, these two here, this is the west beverage, that is the northwest beverage, and that was one of the very first ones I installed here. They all terminate right here. The BevFlex brand goes into this interface, and then up inside of the box where the interface is, these wires have wire nuts in them that something runs into it, it pops the wire nut off, and it doesn't drag my 4x4 to the ground by breaking it off. So there you have it. Let's, I don't know, I think we're kind of done for the day and done for this trip. Everything is installed.